Hi, welcome back to Car Juice. Today we're going to be going over the squeeze on the i4 eDrive 40. So this is the 335 horsepower, 300 mile range version of the i4 35 that we went over last week. So this car is just rear wheel drive only. They do have an all wheel drive version that we will be reviewing here probably in next week's video. And this car actually has some really good options, and this was the first of our electric sedans to come out on our lineup. This car features frameless windows, again 335 horsepower and a 0 to 60 of about 5.5 seconds. So it's an interesting design from BMW. On the interior of the car, we have these beautiful Sensitech seats. You can get leather seats that do have adjustable side bolsters. And with the i4, it actually is a perfect balance between a nice performance kind of sports sedan and a nice comfortable daily driver. This car does feature air ride suspension, which makes it very, very comfortable on long road trips for your rear passengers, even whenever you have additional weight in the back of the car. The rear wheel drive model is actually very good in the snow and still has plenty of good kind of creature comforts. Sitting in the back of the car, all of the i4s are the exact same. I've got plenty of legroom, 5'8", not very big guy, but I've got probably about 5 or 6 inches of legroom in the back seat. Headroom, not tremendous, but you know, if you're somebody who likes to occasionally take your friends out with them to places, that sort of thing, you're probably fine. Or if you have kids, you can get 2 child seats in the back of this car without having too much of a problem. Space on the i4s are all pretty great, with them being a hatchback. You don't have a ton of space underneath the main platform, but you do have a small amount of storage you can add back here. You've got a little spot for your fix-a-flat kit, as this car doesn't come with run-flat tires. It has non-run flat tires, which does lead to a more comfortable ride. All new BMWs, probably after 2024, 2025, probably won't have run-flat tires. Currently, I believe it's just the X3 and the 2 Series that have run-flats, and as those models get aged out, I suspect them to go away from the run-flat design. The i4 also does come with a pretty beefy charger that can charge the car in under 10 hours to that under 10 hours to the 300 mile range point, just like pretty much all the other i4s. All of our EVs charge between 10 and 12 hours, so if you were worried about kind of range, if you work from home or if you occasionally have like a short trip to work, I don't think you'll ever have any worries. And BMW does recommend that you keep your charging under 80% so that the car doesn't get their battery worn out over time. And these also do have an 8-year, 80,000 mile warranty on the battery. Another thing that's important to mention is you do have a 220 plug that comes with all i4s, and you can use this to plug right into your flexible fast charger, or if you wanted the 110 route. The 110 route does not charge the battery quick enough for a day-to-day kind of use case. It's more of like an oh crap charger. This is what you're going to be using from a day-to-day. You can also do level 3 charging if you're interested, which is what we like to call fast charging, and you connect that up directly to a DC network. Over here, you've got 2 different ports. This basically mainlines power directly into the battery. This is the 210, not 210. This is what you'll be plugging into at home versus this is what you'll have at your public charging. In public charging scenarios, the car can charge from 10 to 80% in about 40 minutes. So on road trips, this is what you're going to be utilizing. The car also does come with 2 years of free charging with Electrify America, so that you're not going to be left stranded and stuck paying for charging all the time. And I assume, like the i5, the i4 will come with the ability to do plug-in charge, where you can just walk right up to a charger and plug it in. I don't know exactly when, and I don't think it'll come to 2023 models. However, that is a cool feature that's coming down the pipeline with BMW. That's most of the stuff that I wanted to talk about. I do want to mention the front of this car does not feature a frunk. It does have cornering LED headlights that pivot and cut to the edges of the road, just like its little brother, the i4 eDrive 35 and the i4 M50. You can option this with laser lights. However, in the United States of America, where this video is being filmed, they don't get a ton of extra functionality. It mostly just adds a blue accent to the headlights, so it's not too big of a difference. And if you're looking to load your car up and make it look really cool, I would do it. However, personally, it's not an option that I would take for $1,000 bucks. Let's take this thing on a little bit of a spin and show you guys some more features. So inside of the i4 eDrive 40, you do have the iDrive 8 screen. This being a 2023 model against the 2024s, it does have a different shifter design. Apart from that, everything else is the same. All of our new cars are coming with the iDrive 8 screen, and then select models are coming with the iDrive 8.5, which is just like a slight difference between the two of the vehicles. And vehicles produced before pretty much the middle of this year, 2023, are going to be on that iDrive 8 operating system for a little while longer. Potentially there could be an update, but BMW has not confirmed anything at the time that this video is being recorded. This is not an M Sport model. You can get these with the M Sport. If you're interested in seeing the M Sport version of this car, I will be putting out a video on the i4 M50 versus the i4 xDrive 40 here probably in the future. So biggest differences are the steering wheel and then the exterior of the car. This one just has a more standard BMW's like X-Line or just premium sport design. And you know, as far as features goes, nothing else changes. You still get the air suspension regardless, and you just may lose out on the adaptive suspension and obviously the steering wheel. Other than that, the wheels are different, and range is generally unchanged. You still do have a tremendous heads-up display in all of our i4s. It's a $1,000 option, and I would highly advise getting it, as the new cars do have a really great heads-up display design that has all of your contacts and everything like that, which you can control right on the steering wheel. All of our new iDrive 8 vehicles also do have a lot more ambient lighting colors. There are a ton of different options to choose from here. And everything that you want can just be selected just by pressing here. 17 different options. Flamingo is probably my favorite. I love the pink. It's just super vibey. But if you are looking into an i4 and you're into the ambient lighting, that's definitely a cool thing to look into. Whenever you change your drive mode, there are 3 different drive modes available on this car: Sport, Comfort, and then Eco Pro. On the iDrive 8.5 cars, these do change the ambient lighting. On the iDrive 8 cars, these don't change the ambient lighting colors. Sport is going to make the car a little bit more dramatic, get you closer to that you know, low 5s, 0 to 60 time. It also changes your gauge and gives you this really cool looking gauge cluster here that's a little bit more aggressive. Comfort is going to allow you to continue to customize it, but it lets you actually customize the layout again. Versus Sport, it's always going to be locked in that specific M design with the more hexagonal pattern. And then Eco Pro is really going to maximize how much efficiency you're getting out of the vehicle. And then also in your heads-up display, it even kind of grades you on how efficient you're driving the car. So for the sake of this test drive, we are just going to keep it in comfort mode and take this thing out on a little bit of a cruise. So one of my favorite options that this car features is the Driving Assistance Professional package. It's not an option that I would really suggest for everyone. However, it is really cool on our electric cars, as it does let the car read what's going on in front of it. So if there's a car coming up at a stoplight in front of us, the car is actually going to slow down before it reaches the other vehicle in order to conserve more battery power. It just makes the car overall a little bit more efficient, and also has the added benefit of letting the car have adaptive cruise control on the interstate and do complete full self-driving under 40 miles an hour in the i4 40, and then on our iX models it'll actually do full self-driving at up to 85 miles an hour, which is really great, and just makes it a lot easier to like kind of live with one of these cars. I do want to touch on the one pedal driving mode. So that was a very aggressive brake, but what it does is actually puts the car into a one pedal driving mode. So you get this B button here, and then your adaptive content lights up bright blue, and that tells you that the car is going to slow down a little bit more aggressively, and allow you to not have to go back and forth between the brake and the gas, or the accelerator in this case, and just lets the car kind of determine what it needs to do. Especially with the Driving Assistance Professional package with that radar sensor, it can more aggressively run the electric motors in reverse in order to pick up more reserve power from the electric motors on the back of the vehicle. And I like it. It makes it feel more engaging. Specifically, I like using it with sport mode, because with an electric car, you don't have paddle shifters, you don't have a manual transmission that you're running around. And by putting it into that one pedal driving mode, you feel like you have a little bit more control over what's going on with the vehicle. And it just feels a little bit more fun. Heated seats and climate control. I do want to touch on that, as that is a big detractor of the i4. Unfortunately, it's just inside of this climate menu here, and you have to insert into the climate menu and then change the temperature. BMW recommends getting around this by just using the automatic program and then just adjusting the temperature, which does work very, very well. However, it just is a little bit annoying not having any buttons on the front of the gauge cluster. The i440 is super fun with that rear-wheel drive feeling. It drives like a BMW, and you can still put it into the MDM mode, and you have a little bit of wheel slip as you're going into corners. Big thing with electric cars is that you don't have that same kind of traction feeling as you do with regular gas vehicles, as they are constantly checking like loss of traction and those sort of things, versus a gas car isn't quite as efficient. It's a factor of about 10 to 1. Gas cars ABS checks about 1 to 2 times a second, versus a electric vehicle is capable of checking 10 to 20 times a second, just depending on how you're driving the car, what kind of environment you're in. And yeah, but if you take it and put it into MDM mode, the car still feels engaging, still feels super fun. And yeah, so 300-mile range, 335 horsepower, tons of torque from the electric motors, and a price point. This car is priced at around $63,000. These are about $5,000 or $6,000 more when comparably equipped to an i4 eDrive 35. But if you want the additional about 50 horsepower over the eDrive 35, this is a great option for you, as you also get the additional 300-mile range. But they do have an i4 xDrive 40, which we'll be going over a little bit later. That car features 396 horsepower, and you can find a link to that video review in the description below. But without further ado, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions about the car, please comment down in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Deuces.